So like I'm sitting here for like an hour and a half doing nothing but drinking water, watching everybody around me eat this ramen.
Fuck.
And I'm sitting here in solidarity. And then I went home and I boiled some pasta and made like some like some like bolognese with some beef.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know that's how you know, bro. That's how you know you're committed to this fitness life. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Road to the Meat. I'm joined here with Dom DG, as always, my forever co-host of this series. I just wanted to quickly address a couple of things. So, number one, I do apologize for no episode last week. Things got in the way. We were all busy, and sometimes life happens and things look like they're going to align, but they're not. So that was a thing. You weren't tripping. There was no episode last week. Number two, it's the final month for Dom, not for me. I'm still pretty far ways out. But for Dom, he's in his final month. Dom, tell the audience how many days out you are.
I am 23 days out.
That's crazy. You are 3 weeks out, bro. Almost pretty much.
Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous. I really gotta dial it in. I'm starting to. Honestly, you're sending me some clips of your workouts, and I'm like, she's looking pretty strong. Coming off an injury, hasn't really had that much time to even build it up, and he's already looking like looks like you're gonna smoke me on squats. Obviously, gonna smoke me on bench. I mean, the only thing I'm holding on to is that my deadlifts can go well, but it's a little scary for me at this point.
Hey, they say it's one thing to do a gym lift and it's another thing to execute on the platform. Anything can happen. Plus, I think one motif throughout this entire series is that you have constantly underestimated your own capabilities. Like, even when your lifts don't go the way that they should, which we'll talk about today, they still look great. So, We'll see, man. I might not have you on squats as bad as you think I have you on squats. And, I think definitely discrepancy between the bench and the deadlift is going to be the biggest factor moving into that. Speaking of Dom's training, the good and the bad, Dom, why don't you take us through the last week's, I guess it's going to be 2 weeks, right? Because last time we checked in, you were coming off of a deload. You hit some decent PRs. I believe that was the week you hit a 360 squat for a single.
Yeah, exactly.
And it moved very, very well. Do you want to talk about anything notable that has happened in the last couple of weeks? I mean, it is the peak cycle. We are in the final thing. So why don't you just go ahead and start sharing what's been happening with you in the gym?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we're 2 weeks into the peak block. My coach has given me exactly like what numbers to hit. So I don't really have to judge based off RPE. I just give him the RPE after I hit the weight specified. And I mean, some highlights. Week 1, I'm going to double check. Yeah, I hit 395 pounds on sumo deadlifts for a 2x2, which moved pretty nice. I mean, deadlifts the last couple of weeks in general have been moving really great. It's like the one thing that's like still feeling really good. Squats and bench, not so much, but I'll get to that. So then week 1, I also hit 346.5 pounds for a 2x2 on squats. And I mean, that's pretty good for me. I think the most I've hit 345 for is 3. So I'm starting to, get closer. And bench, I did I think the most exciting thing I did on bench the first week was I did 215 pounds for 3 singles for my top sets on one of the days. And then as far as my actual programming, the only thing notably different with what I'm doing this peak block is instead of paused sumo deadlifts, I'm doing contrast sumo deadlifts my coach gave me, which I never really heard of, but it's 2 reps. The first rep is a pause. The second rep is just normal, which I don't really know the exact thought process with that, but I feel pretty good because they're little bit lighter loads. So I've been I've been feeling really good on those days. It's a lot less fatiguing. And then going into week 2, I guess like highlights, I hit 410 pounds on deadlifts for a top set of 2. And that also moved really good. I don't know, Ani, what did you think of that set? Do you think it looked like pretty good? I sent it to you.
Yeah, honestly, it looked really fast. Like first of all, for 410, like especially with that relative to your previous 1RM, hit that for a double. Very, very speedy. Honestly, it looked like a warm-up set, if I recall. So I think you kind of should have pushed that a little bit harder. But yeah, your deadlift's in a very, very healthy place, I would say.
My squats and my bench haven't been as great as of recent. Like today I hit squats and bench together, and I've just been feeling really fatigued recently. I think like my back and neck's kind of kinked. I'm just tired. I mean, I think I just need to, work on my sleep a little bit. I mean, I'm not getting bad amount of sleep, but I'm someone that needs a lot of sleep. So I think I'm just a little bit fatigued from training and just outside circumstances. But today I hit 355 pounds for 2 on squats. My previous best is 3, but they didn't look that great. My form definitely broke down on the second rep, and I got kind of hunched over, and my torso was like completely horizontal. It wasn't ideal. I also forgot my knee wraps, so obviously it makes it more challenging.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of volume on this day. It took me a while to finish up this lift today, and then I hit 3 singles on bench of 225 pounds. So I mean that's pretty good for myself.
Hey,
it's nothing crazy, but they didn't move super slow or anything. Felt pretty normal. So that's kind of where I'm at. One thing of positive on the positive side is my shoulder's been feeling a lot better. I just finished up my last physical therapy session.
Yeah.
My external and internal rotation of my shoulder is like really good. My physical therapist said he thinks my issues are mainly like upper back, and mid back related. So I'm gonna be doing a lot more like rolling out and like thoracic work and stuff like that. And hopefully I can get it to like the last bit where it's like almost completely back to normal. That being said, like today during my squat and bench, if like I was barely feeling it. Whereas previous sessions, I was really feeling it after squats. Like the low bar position, especially twice a week, has been really fucking up my shoulder. And sorry for my language, but I also made a little bit of a tweak to my squat form where instead of retracting my shoulders super far back, I'm kind of just squeezing them a little bit and depressing them instead of like really trying to push them back super far. And I think that's helped a lot. My coach gave me that critique. So I think that's definitely helped. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of it for my training these first 2 weeks of the peak block. Ani, where are you at with everything? I know you're past the injury. You're getting back to it. I just want to hear about what's up with you.
All right. What is up with me? Well, a lot. But one more thing. Dom, 13 weeks or 13 episodes and 14 weeks later, no shoulder problems. Can you believe it's been 14 weeks of complaining about the shoulder, and now we're back, finally back to normal.
This has been since last year, I feel like. I mean, I was making my end of the year video of last year complaining about it. It's like I'm glad I'm starting to get more of a grasp on what the issue is, and I've made some strides. So that's good. But go on.
It's been awesome. Lots has happened since we last talked about my training. I feel like the last episode was kind of the beginning of like what it was going to look like moving forward after the finger injury. So I had the finger injury for about 2 to 3 weeks. I was doing fuck all. And then coming back, last episode was kind of the first week back. I was doing deadlifts again, for example. So for starters, the last 2 weeks, I guess even the beginning of this week that we're filming, we have transitioned away from straight sets, like for all of them. And now we have top sets followed by back down sets. So this first period is going to be triples. I'm not too sure what my coach is going to have me do after these triples are over, but I know that after this week is over, the next week will be the last week of triples. So maybe we'll move into doubles and then singles, or maybe we'll just move into singles. I have no idea. But we are doing top set triples for all the primary movements. And they have been going fantastic. Absolutely awesome. So, a couple of notable things. First off, last week was the first time I wore knee sleeves. And let me tell you guys something. Those motherfuckers make a big difference. Yeah. Now, I don't know how much of that is the psychological and how much of that is the physical, but I definitely feel more sort of secure in my unracked position with the sleeves on versus without. All of that is to say, first week I put on sleeves, felt amazing. I instantly smashed a PR on the first day. So the first time I squatted in the sleeves, I hit 330 pounds for a triple at 6. Now, the reason I put 6 in air quotations is because it felt like air. I swear it was more like a 5 or like something, dude. It just, the speed at which I shot out of the hole was just, I could not believe it, how fast I was. It was almost like a warm-up set. Now, I personally would have gone up at that point, but my coach was watching me squat. He told me to call it there, so call it there. Moving on to the day 2 was the first top set of 6 on the bench. And, I don't really know how much I talked about this in the last episode. I think I did mention that I'm doing a lot of technique adjustments on the bench. I brought my grip way out. I'm on my index fingers on the outside of the rings. I'm basically max grip, I guess you could call it. Really, like Dom, really trying to depress and retract the scapula into the bench. I'm driving my upper back into the bench as I'm getting in. I'm also working on the unrack, which I've almost mastered at this point, though on most of my really, really heavy top sets, I still get a handoff. So there is that I want to say. But for that first top triple on bench, I was actually at Game Day Barbell. If you don't know Game Day Barbell, it's a gym that's owned and operated by Tim Thibodeau, Joe Stanek, Pug the Goat, and Nico Flores, I believe, is also now officially a part of Game Day Barbell, over in in a North Austin area. It's a pretty big drive from where I live. It's about 40 minutes, but we still made the trip down there just to check it out after its grand opening, and managed to get some good shit in. Managed to get some decent vibes out of there. It's actually a nice place. You should definitely come check it out. But yeah, I hit my top triple, which was an astounding 280 pounds for a triple at 6. Now, I know that, I mentioned in the past, 285 was my 5 rep max, so maybe that's not wow, is that really astounding, bro? But I was not expecting 280. I'm just going to put that out there. I thought maybe 272, at 276 at best, but 280 for a triple felt really, really good, really fast. I felt very, very efficient on that bench. And it might have been the vibes of game day, or maybe having all the homies there and just shouting at me to lift this bitch. But it was actually pretty good. And the deadlifts are surprising me. They're surprising me. I will say that. So the week before this last one, so 2 weeks ago, it was one of the first times I'm returning the deadlifts, right? And this is also the first time I'm pulling on power bars, which have these really, really aggressive knurlings, right? So I my hands are getting absolutely ripped up. I'm thinking, damn, I've got to work on my forearm and deal with these bars' aggressive knurling. My deadlift's gonna just, right? Yep. Not the case. Okay, this past week, so 1 week ago, I hit my first top triple on deadlifts at 6. And I pulled 352 for a triple at a 6. And I was really, really excited because, deadlifts to me have always felt crap. But, this triple at 6, especially after the first rep, started to just really, really groove. And, I felt really, really confident because I was working on that one issue that I continuously talk about and continuously have, which is sort of the ramping or the sliding issue that I'm having, where like once the bar gets to my knees, I like kind of like push the knees out and slide out my thighs, which is actually like a strongman style technique, but it's not legal in powerlifting. But now I'm actually working on just like when it gets to the knees, just like wedging the hips through. Each one of those 3 lifts were ability PRs. Right? So, yes, I had hit those weights before, but they were either at less reps for the squat and definitely less RPE for the other 2. And then I did have some supplemental movements. So on the same day that I squatted, I also did close grip. So that, I believe, that's kind of escaping my brain as to what load I used. I want to say it was 237 or 232 for like 4 sets of 8 on close grip. So that was decent. And then after that, we did, I believe it was 3 count pause bench, which those are pretty brutal. I stuck to about 209 pounds because I was actually trying to pause it on my chest in full tightness. And like retraction, all that shit for like 3 solid seconds on the chest. So just 209 pounds. And yeah, that was the previous week.
I just want to say, where did all this strength come from? That's what I want to know. Are you popping some shit that I'm not aware of?
Bro, it's a deer antler, Loki. No.
Are you taking some SARMs?
No, we're natty for life here, bro. We only drink natty lights. Yeah, I think it's a combination of, first of all, the squat strength is definitely the sleeves. I have has a big factor into that, but it's also a combination of just massive technique adjustments, and just, I don't know, like things are clicking and powerlifting specific training. Like I can't give you all the answers.
I feel like powerlifting is one of these things where there's like waves of like really good progress and then points where you stall, and it just comes it's not sporadic, but like sometimes you're just on a groove and it's working. Other times you kind of feel like you're beating your head against the wall. But it's kind of like the nature of the sport, I feel.
Very, very true. Very, very true. I'm 2 days into this training week, and again, I've already set some crazy PRs. So one is an ability PR, and one is actually an absolute all-time PR. The first PR, which is the all-time PR, is my squat. So I had a triple at 7 this week, and in my brain, I was thinking, bro, 330 moved so well last week, I kind of want 352. And lo and behold, I get a text while I'm at the gym saying, go 352. So I'm like, yeah, let's go. So I loaded 2 reds and a blue and on each side. And I put that shit on my back. I squatted the fuck out of it, bro. 352 for a triple at, again, like the RPE, like it was supposed to be a 7, right? But it kind of didn't feel like a 7. It kind of felt like a 6.5, maybe a 6. I was just so happy with the way that it moved. It was just like a spring out of the hole. And for like an all-time PR,
it looks smooth.
I was ecstatic, bro. Yeah, I was over the moon. So rode that high into bench day the next day, triple at 7. And I was actually kind of concerned because, all this load and volume on my freaking body is kind of giving me some tendony issues over here, like on my arm and my tricep and all that stuff. So I was kind of feeling a little beat up going into the session. So I was like doing my warm-ups and everything was moving like decent. It wasn't moving great. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like, where can I even go from here? I almost thought about trying 280 again. And then I get a text from coach and he says 297. I want you to at least, he said the words, I want at least 297. I'm like, at least, bro. At least. Are you fucking kidding me? That's 17 pounds up from last week.
That's crazy.
And so I was like, fuck it. I loaded 297 on the bar and I benched it for a triple. Now,
goddamn.
Granted, this 297 moved a little slower than I would have liked it to. It was probably more at around a 7.5 than an actual 7, maybe even as high as an 8. But like considering 6 weeks ago, from this recording, 6 weeks ago, I benched 295 for a 4-rep max. And now I'm out here benching it for 297 on kilos, on a power bar, after squatting, hitting a PR. And I'm benching 297 for a triple at a 7.5. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I do need a test. Maybe somebody needs to watch me take a piss. Because like
dude, drug test this man.
I don't know what's going on, bro, but I'm loving it. Oh man, it's been contrary to Dom's last week. It's been a very good week. I wish that I had. I wish that I had done deadlifts today, but I was just way too busy today. I kind of curious as to what he thinks I'm gonna pull. Like in my head, I'm thinking 363, but
are you doing triple again?
Yeah, in my head, I'm thinking 363, but I feel like he's gonna push for 3 reds, which is 374. So
yeah,
I don't know. We're gonna see what happens, I guess. But yeah. That's how my training has been going, and it's been nice. It's been a good time.
I mean, it's looking really good. I'm excited for you.
Are you shaking?
I'm a little bit jealous because I hit squats today, similar weight. It was like an RP 8. You hit the same weight for like an RP like 6 or whatever. So, and one more. You hit it for like an RP 6 with like one more rep. So, not ideal for your boy, but it is what it is.
Wow. We'll see what happens. Keep in mind, like I said, this is like the first time I put it on sleeves. And I don't what size are your sleeves? Like, are they like 2 size? Or are they a size, did you size up, just size down?
Honestly, I think I just got like they're like raw gear sleeves. I think I just got like a medium or whatever. There's like 3 options, I think.
Was that did you measure and was that's your size?
Yeah, it gave you like a range, and it just like I just measured around my knee, and then
see. Well, you should have done with size down, because that's what I did. I bought SBDs.
I've heard that.
I'm a 2XL in the SBD sleeves, and I got an XL. And bro, I think that could be the difference, man.
Yeah, maybe I should have did that. I do have like a somewhat hard time getting them on, but not too bad. I know some people. I know some people are getting. I think it's like Inzer ones that have come out recently that are like you can lay like a couple pounds on top of it and it won't bend. It's like. They're like super stiff and like hard to get on. So that and they're USAPL legal, so pretty interesting.
Sheesh. You got some extra cash around. You might want to spring for some of those or maybe some A7s or something.
Yeah, because, I should buy some knee sleeves soon. I'm probably just gonna stick with what I got for the meet, but I'll probably switch over to SBDs after like at some point. If I do another meet like next year or something, I'll probably go SBD for it.
I mean, I've got 2 weeks in them, and I'm not complaining at all. They're pretty great.
Okay, guys, that wraps up another episode of Road to the Meet. I hope you guys enjoy listening to us talk about our training all the time. It's getting a little juicy. Stuff's actually getting a little spicy. But yeah, if you guys want to follow us on social media, make sure to follow Ani's channel where these videos are uploaded. Follow him on Instagram. We'll put it on the screen. And follow me on TikTok at Natty Lifting. And give us some support. We're really getting close to our meets, and shit's ramping up. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Peace, guys.
Peace out.